Here's how you can renovate your entire basement for only $3,000. Hey, I'm Alex. I'm a DIYer, and my mother-in-law and I are teaching my friends how to renovate their own basement. But here's the catch. We're only being given $3,000 to pull off this entire basement renovation, which is exactly why we're finding any cheap way to get us expensive results, and here's how you can too. To start, if you're anything like us, then you are balling on a budget. So here's how you're gonna make your cheap IKEA bookcases look like this. In a perfect world, their cabinets would fit exactly in your room without any gaps, but that's never how it works out, so here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna space out your cabinets so that the gaps in between them will fit a 2x4 just like this, and then you'll screw them together from both sides, so this makes all the cabinets one, and then it allows you to put a piece of trim on the face. Now you just nailed in, and it'll make you feel like you have one big custom piece, which is the goal. To make this feel expensive, you're gonna need to cut some 3/4 inch plywood and create your own countertop, and then also box it in up top like this. Enclosing the gaps on the sides is a little bit more custom to your room layout, so this might be more of a custom cut for you, but it's the same process. Now if you want these to feel custom, you need to take it all the way up to the ceiling, so you just do that with some 1/4 inch plywood and then some crown molding to finish it off. Now this already looks custom, but we're about to take it to another level by adding an arch. This part wasn't easy, I'm not gonna lie, but if you want people to never know that this is IKEA, this is the way to do it. One thing you might not know about is plywood has a raw edge that you can't really paint, so you need to get this edge banding that you iron on. With a little bit of hard work, this is what your home will look like. But you're not done yet. Now you get to see the magic happen right before your eyes by applying the actual paint. You need to apply 2 coats of paint, so this is my first coat right here, and you can kind of see the process of spraying them and then hanging them. And now again, same thing with the bookcase. This is real-time speed, so this is why I like the sprayer. It just gives you a better finish, and look how quick this is. Now mind you, this is the cheapest sprayer I could find at Home Depot. It was only like 200 bucks, and my mother-in-law learned how to use it in like 3 minutes, so it's not difficult. In phase 1, these custom IKEA built-ins only cost us $800 to make, and now phase 2 is building them their own custom bar, but we're still in a major budget, so here's how you can build your own countertop for cheap to look like this. It's really easy. Just cut the concrete forms to size and screw them down into the cement board. Just be careful with the drill, but the corners are gonna have this gap, and you just seal that up with duct tape. Now this step doesn't seem important, but if you don't do this, your concrete will crack down the road. So our kit came with a fiberglass mesh, and you basically install it so that the height is in the middle layer of the concrete, just like this. Now comes the fun part where you mix up the concrete, and you can literally just use a normal drill. But I did have a problem, and it came out way too dry, as you can see here. The concrete is supposed to flow through the mesh, but don't worry, you won't have that problem because you'll actually read the directions correctly, and you will put the right amount of water in it, and it'll flow just fine. In the midst of all the chaos, I almost forgot to vibrate the concrete to get all the air bubbles out, so this is my favorite hack for how to do it. You just use a little massage gun, and you can see all the air bubbles popping out. We then tried leveling it out as best as we could, but I'm not gonna lie, this color looks off to me if I'm trying to achieve this creamy white color, but I was told once I grind, sand, and polish this concrete down, it'll look exactly like it. So there's only one way to find out, but I gotta wait 24 hours before I can touch the concrete. And now today is Judgment Day, and I'm scared to look at it, but this is what it looks like. At first glance, it looks good, but I haven't even shown you the giant mistakes that we made and how you can fix them. But first I want to show you how easy it is to remove these forms. All you do is just snap it off. Now, one thing I won't do to you here at Real Life Renovation is lie to you about the mistakes we made, so let's get into it. Up first, you might have some bumps and bruises in your concrete, and that's because you didn't level it properly. And that's okay. Remember, you're a DIYer, not a professional concrete pourer, so we're just gonna put a diamond grit sanding pad and sand them away. I'm not gonna lie, this is gonna involve some elbow grease on your end, but it's totally worth it, and you can see the sand of the concrete coming through, which I really love, so me and Sherry cranked that out. Then for a shiny glass finish on your concrete, wet polish it with 1500 grit, and you'll be amazed at how smooth it feels. Now, before I show you the biggest mistake of all that I still don't know how to fix, we had to FaceTime Sophie to show her how good it looked, and we even started planning the backsplash, which I'm super excited to teach Keith and Sophie how to tile. But first, this mistake. There might be a crack or two, but that's not a problem. You can totally fix this, so don't let that scare you. Sophie told me in the last video that she was gonna smash this countertop if it didn't look good in her home, and we did get her stamp of approval. As you can see, we've come a long way, and today we're teaching them and you how easy it is to install Hume's flooring. I mean, just right here you can see how it just goes together like a puzzle piece. They're also really easy to cut. You just need to squirt with your knife, and then don't do this, just bend and snap. Like I said, super easy. Now, once you hit the open field, you're gonna get on a roll, and you're gonna feel like nothing can stop you, and even these little cuts that annoyed you before are just gonna become trivial. Honestly, I think my favorite thing about flooring is you don't need a ton of tools to pull this off. Here I am using the multi-tool to make this cut. You can honestly use whatever floats your boat. Once you finish it off, let me tell you, you're gonna feel like you're on top of the world, and you just completely transform your room. I mean, look at where we started, and look at where we are now. It's crazy how far we've come. We've already spent $2,900, so we only have $100 left, and we're saving it for the coolest part. Here's Here's how to make your house guests think you're rich, even though you're not. My mother-in-law and I are attempting to build a secret bookcase door that looks like this. And since this is like the ultimate benchmark for being rich, today we're gonna attempt to cheat the system by building one for cheap, and here's how you can too. Now this process, in theory, is very simple to do in your home. You're gonna start by removing your old door trim, and essentially you're gonna build something that looks like this, and I promise you it's easier than you think. You're just gonna rip down some 1x5s, and these will be your new door frame. Now you're gonna attach them all together nice and square. I'm being bougie and using pocket holes here, but you could totally just put screws into the end of the pieces. Now, if you're into the kind of thing where your door actually opens and closes and functions, then you're gonna wanna take your time and make sure it's square, level, and plumb, which may require shims. Just promise me you won't almost slice your mother-in-law's finger open while trying to screw them in.
You put a mark in my finger.
I know it shouldn't be funny, but I mean, come on, that's kind of funny. Anyways, here's your new door frame, and now you're gonna cut some 1x8s for your new secret bookcase door. This is the part where your brain might kind of hurt a little bit, but I promise you it's worth it, and these hinges make it so much easier on you. If you're watching this and you don't feel like you can do this, I'm telling you can. Just cut a test piece, install the hinges, and then just test the fit. And once you confirm it opens and closes smoothly with a solid gap on both sides, then you can assemble your entire secret bookcase door, and you'll know that it will work. At this point, congratulations, you have something that actually resembles a secret bookcase door. So now you're just gonna install the bottom hinge, and if you notice, that top hinge is not installed yet, and that's because it's by far the hardest part. So if you want to see how you finish this off and make it look like an actual secret bookcase door in your home, then make sure you keep watching. And now here's how you're gonna install your door, build around it to make it look secretive, and install the infamous secret booklet. Now, as cool as all of that stuff is, none of that actually matters unless you can get your door to function, so it's really important to get your top hinge and your bottom hinge aligned perfectly. Now, if you're smarter than me, you're gonna attach the backing of your bookcase door before you hang it, just so it's easier to actually nail in. Now, the next part is a personal choice because we decided to build an arch. We cut it out, nailed it in, and now here is your secret sauce to your bookcase door. You have to install your trim so that it covers all of the gaps and overlays onto the door a little bit, and that way when it's shut, you'll never be able to tell. At this point, you have a secret bookcase door, which is cool and all, but we're trying to give it Harry Potter vibes, so here's how to install your secret booklet. You simply install the door kit to the bottom and then drill a hole through the side of your bookcase. Then you screw this little guy to the side of the book, feed it through the hole, and then attach the wire. And now, just by tilting your secret book, it lifts your door latch. Before I show you the reveal on how this works, can we just appreciate how far this basement has come? This is what it looked like before, and here's what it looks like now. And a reminder, this was only for $3,000, and all of this was DIY'd by me, my mother-in-law, and my two friends that I taught how to do all of this. We ripped up gross carpets, built custom IKEA built-in, poured our own concrete countertop, installed our own floors, and now built our own secret bookcase door. Finally, this is your before and this is your after, and it not only looks pretty, but your door will stay shut unless you tilt your secret book. So if you like this project, then no matter your DIY experience, if you want to learn how to build budget-friendly projects in your home, then you need to hit follow right now.